Let's see. All right. We ain't heard from Colin yet. Let's see what Colin got to say.
Bill Belichick,
Pretty sure
he's
going to say
into
Bill
the
should be
Hall
in.
of Fame, but it shocked a lot of people that he did not get in. Now, we've talked about this today. The strange thing about Hall of Fame voting is they just tweaked the voting. Okay. So now coaches can get in 1 year after they leave the sport.
And that's what I was saying. So if they just tweaked it, everybody just looking at the fact instead of looking at the context. You know what I'm saying?
Players, doesn't matter if you're the greatest player in the world, you got to wait 5 years. But we said earlier, Don Shula is the winningest coach ever. He had to wait 5 years. For the record, Bill Walsh,
ain't nobody say nothing about that.
Arguably the most innovative coach ever, did not get in the first time he was eligible.
Ain't nobody.
Vince Lombardi didn't. And Joe Gibbs, who won 3 Super Bowls with...
All right, so this is regular. So what is everybody crying for? This regular.
3 different quarterbacks did not. But there's a sense with Belichick, I mean, come on. He's got this cachet of rings. And again, I would have voted him in. I get it. But my argument is, when you start looking at people who didn't get in, and they had to wait 5 years to begin with. Our next guest is somebody that waited far too long. One of the great coaches of all time, Jimmy Johnson, the Hall of Famer. Fox Sports is now joining us.
So I understand. So maybe because, now I don't know why they tweaked it. It could be because of age. It could be because, like if you Bill Belichick and you coach, and let's say he was still coaching, it's like, damn, like bruh should be in the Hall of Fame. Like how long do we got to wait for? So I believe that there probably has to be like I'll say maybe like a 15-year tenure in the NFL. After for executives, coaches, and the owners. After 15 years, you should be eligible for the Hall of Fame. And this is for the contributors, the coaches, the owners, and front staff. I believe if you have contributed at least 15 years, you should be eligible to be in the Hall of Fame. Now, however you want to work that on the back end, that's how you work it on the back end. But that's how you should start it out. Because Bill, in my eyes, with my system, Bill would have been in the Hall of Fame like 10, 15 years ago. So, like, it is what it is.
Slide down.
So I feel him on that. Now, if getting in coaches and front office staff and owners is about age, then there needs to be like a 15-year cutoff. Have you contributed 15 years to this league? All right, you're eligible for the Hall of Fame. If that was the structure, you wouldn't have to worry about age at that moment. Yes, for some people, yes, of course. Nothing's absolute. But for the most part, Bill Belichick would have been in the Hall of Fame already with that structure.
Not like they're going to retire when they're 31. They're going to retire when they're 65.
Because Bill Belichick might be back in the NFL next season. And he's going to use him being in the Hall of Fame as weight to his name to be hired as a coach.
And so because of the difference in the age, the coaches really need to go in, really before they get.
The new UFC era continues live from Australia. Featherweight champ Alexander Volkanov.
All right, so Colin's taking it the political route, which I expect him to do. Let's see what else we got on here.
Six Super Bowls together, and no matter what issues they may have had between them, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick
Let's
Tom
actually
Brady.
hear what Brady had to say.
Tom Brady and Bill Belichick won 6 Super Bowls together, and no matter what issues they may have had between them, Tom now joins the growing chorus of supporters saying there is no disputing that Belichick deserves to be honored and that this is ridiculous. The goat of coaching did not get in on his first try.
I don't understand it. I mean, I was with them every day. If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is completely ridiculous because people deserve it.
Now there are plenty of coaches like Colin Cowherd had mentioned, Jim Walsh, Joe Gibbs, the coach for the Cowboys, Jimmy Johnson. These are guys who weren't first ballot Hall of Famers. So history shows that, you know, it's not an automatic. And especially looks like with the rules changing, you know, I might change a few things as well. I feel like we're all just overreacting to the consequences of a new rule. That's what we're doing. We're overreacting to the consequences of a new rule. Right?
He's incredible.
And Tom's old boss also
Tom, you ain't said nothing though. I ain't hear you really said nothing.
upset. New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft, who often clashed with Belichick, stated, quote, "I strongly believe Bill Belichick's record and body of work speak for themselves. He is the greatest coach of all time." And listen, for all of his success, Belichick is not without his critics for the way he carried himself over the decades. And then there were the Spygate and the Deflategate scandals. One voter tells ESPN that all of that.
Or every man will be humbled, and one day every man will be humbled.
Did come up during deliberations on Belichick's candidacy. And not that it likely makes Belichick feel any better, but he is not the only big name that voters snubbed. Michael's former Giants teammate, quarterback Eli Manning, two-time Super Bowl MVP,
Eli
did not make the cut for the second year in a
whole
row.
bunch of
But
people
most
don't believe
experts
he
say
need to be in the Hall of
for
Fame
Eli,
or be a
it's
first
only
ballot.
a matter of time.
Same thing for
he's
Bill
not a
Belichick.
first
He's going to
ballot.
get in.
It's a matter of time. He'll get in there. After all this, he'll get in next year for sure. But you can't say Spygate and Deflategate, because if those are holding him out, and I hate to say it because I love the guy, but then Tom Brady wouldn't get in on his first ballot either.
Now, why can't we leave Tom as Tom and Bill as Bill? Two totally different situations. Tom went to a whole nother team, won the championship.
So you got to look at it that way.
Yep.
I think it's a
A lot of
argument.
conversation about
I think
this.
a lot of excuses out there. They need to just replace everybody who voted. Get new people.
You heard it here first, America.
Man, he just talking, bro, because you in the Hall of Fame, so you know the voters. You go talk to him, Michael Strahan. That's that TV bullshit. You know the voters. You go talk to them.